ways to improve confirmation and while we're in here. So we were told that like a PowerPoint might be helpful. So ta-da, here it is. So the one thing we're still working on though are videos, because we stream it to YouTube. We're running into copyright issues and we don't want things just to be like muted or just like YouTube to stop it. So we're working with a publication company to get some copyright stuff figured out. So hopefully videos very soon. Ask Ashley. She was emailing a copyright person. Gross. Ugh. So anyways, here we are, Exodus part 2. So does every group have kind of like a stack of, or a timeline of events for the book of Exodus? Do folks have that? Yes or no? Yes, we do? Fantabulous. Here's what I want you all to do. For the first couple minutes, check in with one another. How are you doing this week? What are you excited for about Thanksgiving? Like maybe what's your favorite Thanksgiving food? And what I want you to do is while you share that, try to get the correct order or the correct timeline. Maybe the end or the beginning is on top. Work your way down for the events that we're going to talk about today. The plagues, Passover, and the Red Sea. So try to just guess, and then as we go through the stories, change things around and get it to be in the right order as best you can. Sound good? All right, so check in for about 5 or 6 minutes while you also do the timeline. And we're not looking for you all to be right, just to try to remember as best you can, and then again, work on it as we go. Got it? Go. Hey, Ashley, do we have timeline stuff? All right, everybody. So, we're going to get a little creative here. We're going to try and work around some copyright stuff. So here's what we're going to do. If you are watching at home online, or you're filling it in later, we're going to mute the sound here in the worship center. I'm going to play a song. The title of the song will be on the slide. And so then I'll just have you listen to it. So Kirk, if you don't mind muting the stream, we're good. All right. Ooh, yeah, we got claps for Bob. So, redemption song. So, first let's start. Raise your hand. Have you ever heard of Bob Marley? A few folks? Okay. So, Bob, as some folks call him, Bob lived in Jamaica and he was born of he was I don't know if his mom or his dad was white, but his other parent was a person of color. And this song talks a lot about slavery, mental slavery, and actual slavery from a while ago. So that first question, do you think his experiences inspired the writing of the song? Why or why not? And we can just stay in a large group right now. His experiences, did they impact his writing of the song? I heard yes. Yes? Why? How? How might you envision that? Oh, sorry. Yeah. 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 Perhaps one of his parents faced prejudice. Perhaps an ancestor was enslaved at one point. Yeah, talking about the slave trade not only impacted the United States, but was also in the Caribbean and elsewhere. So yeah, yeah. Anyone else? All right. So this song talks about two different types of slavery: mental slavery and real slavery. In your small groups, quickly talk about, what do you think mental slavery means? And what do you think, or what are things that enslave people's minds? So what does that mean, and how does that happen? Think about it. Go ahead and talk in your groups. All right. Sorry, everyone. I was chatting with the group, and they had some great insights. So, what do you think mental slavery is, and give me an example of it? So, yeah, let's go to each group, and we'll start over here since I see hands over here. Thank you for raising your hands. Someone. That's an example, but first define mental slavery for me as best you can. Addiction? So like addicted to something and it becomes all-consuming? A mental prison. All right. And cigarettes are an example because you get addicted and then you keep smoking cigarettes. Okay. Yeah, lung cancer. Yeah. All right, let's jump down to Mr. Fibers.
Maybe I'll summarize.
Yeah.
We were talking about how even if you are not an actual slave as far as being captive, that there's a lot of people who can feel like they're enslaved just because they're different and they don't maybe fit in to the norm, or they might be able to not do what other people can do just because of where they're in, even discrimination-wise or any of those kinds of things.
Yeah.
Categories that people put people in.
I love that. So I'm going to try and summarize that. If you didn't hear, mental slavery, you may not necessarily be physically enslaved or a captive, but you can feel like you don't fit in. What was the second part? You face discrimination because of that,
Right, yeah.
not fitting in.
Categorized and you feel like you can't do things that other people can do just based on who you are.
Yeah, can't do what other people can do based upon who you are. All right, and what's an example from this group? All right, that's fine. All right, let's just do one more group. Holy buckets, we're out of time already. All right, we'll go back to that group that I was chatting with. So hold on, Abby. Hold on one second. So her definition was like being told that you have no worth, perhaps by yourself or by others or outside pressures, that you aren't good enough, you need to have X, Y, and Z, you're just insufficient. Okay, an example. Yeah, so the example being perhaps a politician, or I'll just say someone who has some power and clout, saying, I have all these skills and traits, I'm the better one, look at me, you should, elevate me further, lowly peasant. All right, so these are all great reflections. So we've introduced slavery, we've talked about perhaps some generational adaptations or generational thoughts on slavery from Bob Marley here. So now I'm going to invite everyone to open their Bibles. And what I want to do, we have so many scripture passages that we should really be going through in depth, but we're not going to hit all of them tonight. All right? We're not going to hit all of them. So here's what I would like you to do. Up on the screen, we have the first passage of importance. We have Exodus 7:14 through 12:32. We're not going to read all of it. Shh. All right. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to, if you have a Lutheran Study Bible or a Collaborate Bible, whatever it is, what I want you to do is to go through and as a group, take note of the different plagues that are in there. There should be about 10 plagues. And what I want you to do is take a look at them. Perhaps some of them are on your timeline. So take a note of all the plagues. And while you do that, I'm just going to preface all of this. Moses, we talked about last week, was called by God to go set the Israelites free. Moses goes, talks to Pharaoh, and what does Pharaoh say? No, hard pass. Pharaoh had an enslaved group of people building pyramids and things. Why would he want that to go away? So, Moses said again, hey, you better do this, or God said some bad things are going to happen. And Pharaoh said, nope. So, the plagues come. Ooh. All right, so check out the plagues, see if that helps out your timeline, and dig in. All right. So, hopefully you had a chance to look at those plagues. If you have a Lutheran study Bible, some of you found it. There was the actual just table of plagues listed. So, all of them, gross. Pharaoh's a stubborn cat, right? He just won't give in. So, what did God eventually, or how did God eventually convince Pharaoh to let people go? And you may not have gotten there by reading it. Yeah, down there. The death of the firstborn sons. That's right. The final plague convinced Pharaoh to let the Israelites go. So, historical piece here. The firstborn male, back in ancient times in patriarchal societies, that was the one who inherited all the stuff, who had all the power. So, that meant that the family line was cut off, perhaps, if no more sons were there. So, it was devastating for a patriarchal society. And, are there any just firstborns, boys or girls in here? Are there any firstborn boys or girls in here? Yeah? Wow. So imagine that being a plague. Wow, that's terrible. So here's a quick question. You probably all talked about which was the weirdest or grossest plague. But how about this? Shh, listen up. Listen up. What would a plague look like today? And you can't say COVID. Okay. What would a plague look like today? Yeah. The Delta variant, okay. I getcha. Nothing coronavirus related. Think outside the box. Shh. No internet. The Wi-Fi is down. No data? Oh my goodness. Shh. Hold on. I can't hear Abram. Shh. Oh. Dylan. Online school again. Yeah. Shh. Hold on. I can't hear. Say it again, please. Gas prices at $7. Oh, that'd be awful. Stay at home. I'd walk to work. Yeah. What's that? I can't hear you. Broccoli. I thought you said buckwheat. I'm like, that is not what you're saying. Broccoli. Oh, man. All right, last one. Contaminated water source. Yeah. All right, so these plagues happen. Okay? These plagues happen. Now, I want to touch a little bit on the last plague, the Passover, and it might be the next slide. I'm not 100% sure. Yes. All right. So, we're going to just briefly look at Exodus 12:33 through 42, and I'm just going to read it, so hang on. The Egyptians urged the people to hasten their departure from the land, for they said, "We shall all be dead." So the people took their dough before it was leavened, with their kneading bowls wrapped up in their cloaks on their shoulders. The Israelites had done as Moses told them. They had asked the Egyptians for jewelry of silver and gold and for clothing, and the Lord had given the people favor in the sight of the Egyptians, so they let them have what they asked. And so they plundered the Egyptians. I'm not sure plundered is the best word here. That kind of sounds like they're stealing, but they're kind of more saying like they're leaving, they've done the hard work, kind of more like reparations, please. Okay. The Israelites journeyed from Ramses to Sukkoth, about 600,000 men on foot besides children. All right, 600,000 men, women, and children. So more than that, okay? A mixed crowd also went up with them, and livestock in great numbers, both flocks and herds. They baked unleavened cakes of the dough that they had brought out of Egypt. It was not leavened because they were driven out of Egypt and could not wait, nor had they prepared any provisions for themselves. The time that the Israelites had lived in Egypt was 430 years. At the end of 430 years, on that very day, all the companies of the Lord went out from the land of Egypt. That was for the Lord a night of vigil, to bring them out of the land of Egypt. That same night is a vigil to be kept for the Lord by all the Israelites throughout their generations. Oof. What do we go to? 42. We're done. All right. So, the night before they left, all right, this is the Passover. So what does Passover mean? Does anyone remember or have a guess? Where something literally passes over. All right? Yeah, so remember the last plague. The last plague was the death of the firstborn. If the family had slaughtered a lamb and painted their doorpost with the blood, death would pass over that house. Okay? Yeah. So, all right. I'll let's reverse back, okay? God really wants the Israelites free, and God is pushed to the last straw, if you will. Okay? So Moses goes before Pharaoh and says, if you don't let people go, death will visit your firstborn across the nation of Egypt. And Pharaoh said, nope, not going to happen. So Moses tells all the Israelites what's going to happen. So the doorposts are painted with the blood of a lamb. Okay? And so death passes over these houses. And so for those who didn't listen, or perhaps were Egyptians, the firstborn male in that family died. So this is literally Passover. Death passes over. And what happens then? Pharaoh says, you can go. So they leave. All right, this is Passover. This is celebrated every year in the Jewish faith because they escaped slavery and got freedom. Okay? All right, let's go to the next slide. We're going to go to the Red Sea. So they are going along and they need to cross the Red Sea. So the passage is in Exodus chapter 14, verses 21 to 31. Then Moses stretched out his hand over the sea. The Lord drove the sea back by a strong east wind all night and turned the sea into dry land, and the waters were divided. The Israelites went into the sea on dry ground, the waters forming a wall for them on the right and on the left. I'm sure Ashley's thinking of Moana right now, when Moana goes into the water. The Egyptians pursued and went into the sea after them. So Pharaoh changed his mind. He was like, no, go get them. All of Pharaoh's horses, chariots, and chariot drivers. At the morning watch, the Lord in the pillar of fire and cloud looked down upon the Egyptian army and threw the Egyptian army into panic. He clogged their chariot wheels so that they turned with difficulty. The Egyptians said, let us flee from the Israelites, for the Lord is fighting for them and against Egypt. All right, a couple more verses here. Then the Lord said to Moses, stretch out your hand over the sea so that the water may come back upon the Egyptians, upon their chariots and chariot drivers. So Moses stretched out his hand over the sea, and at the dawn the sea returned to its normal depths. As the Egyptians fled before it, the Lord tossed the Egyptians into the sea. The waters returned and covered their chariots and the chariot drivers and the entire army of Pharaoh that had followed them into the sea. Not one of them remained. But the Israelites walked on dry ground through the sea, the waters forming a wall for them on their right and on their left. Thus the Lord saved Israel that day from the Egyptians. And Israel saw the Egyptians dead on the seashore. Israel saw the great work of the Lord, that the Lord did against the Egyptians. So the people feared the Lord and believed in the Lord and in his servant Moses. So not such a pretty picture, is it? No, it's not. God is going to extreme lengths to save the Israelites here. Okay? So, how did they escape? What happened? Yeah. The seas parted, and they walked on the dry ground. Yep. Okay, perfect. And what happened next? Yeah. Yeah, right? Quite literally. All right, all the Israelites are here. All right, I'm going to. Yeah. And so lots of Egyptians drowned in the Red Sea. So this is I like to talk about these things with you all because I think too often we think of these as stories in our picture Bibles of like, oh, the Israelites are going for a walk through the sea on the beach. And we forget about the death and destruction that is in the Bible sometimes. And so while some people like to look at this as God is kind of super angry and vengeful, and I don't like that, I look at this as God goes to extreme lengths to save people. I mean, in the New Testament, what happens up there? God goes to extreme lengths for us, to save us. And so I think of this as just another example of how much God loves us. Okay, let's get up and get moving. I think we've been sitting a little too much. Here's what I want to do. We've only got a few minutes left, but I think it'll be fun if we do it. In your groups, find a space where you have a little bit of room to move around. So there's kind of like back there, there's group there, there's here, there's up front, there's kind of in the middle. But here's your instruction. Shh, please listen. You have, let's say, till 7:25, and you have to produce a 10-second play of the crossing of the Red Sea and the plagues. All right? You have to create a 10-second play in 6 minutes. All right? And you have to perform it in front of everybody. All right? On your mark, get set, go. You've got about 2.5 minutes. 2.5 minutes. All right, I need everyone to shh. Shh. Listen up. So, everyone, please find a spot to sit where you can see other folks perform. We're going to perform up here in this area. Please note there are stairs here. Don't trip. All right? I have 2 guest judges that will pick the best play for treats. Ashley, what's our bribe today? Oreos or Chips Ahoy or something like that. Sweet. Okay, so judges, please introduce yourselves.
I'm Ariana. Hi.
And I'm Megan.
All right. Let's give a hand to Ariana and Megan. All right. So you can stand here at the altar, okay? And then we have our first group was super excited to do it. So go ahead, come on down. Do you need to sit over there? Would that be more helpful? Do you want to? Yeah. Let's go over there. Go over there. Judges, sorry, Ariana and Megan, sit over there so they can perform to everyone. Okay, sorry, lack of clarity. Okay, again, 10-second plays. Okay, go. And that's how they made it across the Red Sea. All right, yay! Okay, excellent. Next. Oh, there's a prop. Come on down, come on down. right front and center. All right. Shh. Here we go. Go. And scene. Woo! All right, good job. All right, here we go. This group. All right, and go. Oh! Even Pharaoh got destroyed. Oh my goodness. Woo! All right, come on down. All right, ready, set, shh, shh. All right, ready, go. Ooh, the water's part. All right. Woo! All righty. Here we go. This group, come on down. Yep. This group, come on down. All right. Shh. All right, everyone listen up. Listen up. I'm glad we're having fun, but we need to be a little bit more efficient with our time. So next group that's going to be up is this group, and then we're going to go like that, okay? So next group, be ready. Okay, and go. All right. We got the full picture. We had the plagues and the parting. All right. All right, here we go. Next group. All right. Ready, go. You shall not pass. Ah, I love the Lord of the Rings reference. All right. I like the sound effect. Whoosh. All right, that group, come on down. All right, here we go. And action. And dead Egyptian. All right. Last but not least. All right, guest judges, this is This is pressure filled here. All right, here we go. And action. And scene. All right, guest judges, while you confer, a few announcements, everyone. First of all, have a great and wonderful Thanksgiving next week. There will be no confirmation next month. Hold on. There will be no confirmation next Wednesday. Okay, the next time we meet is December 1st. Bishop Lori, our synod's bishop, will be here to present the lesson, okay? And we've invited our high school confirmation students to join us as well, so be prepared for a larger group, okay? Okay, Ashley, anything else? Do your sermon notes and do your service projects. Okay, judges, which group? You come on up, yeah.
Okay. The winner is that group. First one. Let's go. Yes, that group. They're that group.
All right, so this group, go ahead, find Ashley, get your Chips Ahoy or whatnot. Do you want Chips Ahoy and or go to Ashley? All right, have a great night, everyone. Thanks for staying a few minutes late.